Word is, Russians have infiltrated the Hegseth meeting on Signal. One of the people there was in the U.S. Embassy in Russia. They say there's a high chance that Russia has it. The real question comes up, how many of these Signal meetings have they been having over the last 10 weeks? And how much information has Russia, North Korea, Iran, or anybody else who wants to poke in the Signal been seeing? That's the real question. That's why Hegseth should be fired. That's why Gates should be fired. Even though Trump's standing behind him, they need to really bring him down. He's basically violated not only national security, but the safety of our U.S. troops. And that's something that can't be forgiven. At the very least, have them resign. I mean, have them both resign. That is ridiculous that you're doing this on such a weak public app as Signal or Telegram or WhatsApp. I mean, those are nice apps for regular people, but how in the world do you do that? Steve, Buttigieg made a really good comment about this. He said, listen, I'm involved with, in national security because he worked in intelligence. And he said, when you get classified documents, you're not allowed to even be in a room with a phone. You're not allowed to be in a room with anything, because if you take that information outside of the classified areas, like those buildings Elon was trying to get in, he couldn't get into. That was one building he couldn't get into, was the classified building. They have, I forget the name of them, but they have the buildings that you can't bring anything in, not a phone, not a car beeper or anything, nothing. And in order to get that classified information and take that outside. Now, if you know the classified information and communicate it outside of that area, and it's not to other people in a classified way, you're in trouble. You can't even transfer it from machine to machine. So for them to do this is not just irresponsible, but it is absolutely against the law, treasonous, and at the very least, they should resign. At best, there's a court martial coming up, some sort of court that's coming up, federal prosecution that's happening, because you can't do that. That is absolutely ridiculous. You don't get away with it because you feel like you can get away with it. And that's the arrogance and stupidity of this administration. They want to hold everybody to a line they don't hold themselves to. And, everybody's mentioning Hillary Clinton in the emails. It's like, really? I mean, at this point, Russia knows a lot. Korea knows a lot. Iran knows a lot. And everybody else knows a lot, because they opened themselves up to this kind of stupidity and weakness. Hey, subscribe to my channel for more. I'm going to break it down to you with context always. I have 30 years marketing, branding. I worked on Kamala Harris's campaign. You'll find me to be a very interesting individual. Join me. And if you're not on YouTube looking at this, go over to YouTube, Darren Monroe Politics, because that's where I get to really talk about interesting stuff. Check out my playlist over there.